Russian Public Opinion Research Center, established in 1987, known as the All-Union Center for the Study of Public Opinion until 1992, is the oldest polling institution in post-Soviet Russia. It is one of Russia's leading sociological and market research companies in Russia. The state-owned and government-run institution reports to the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs. VTsIOM is the oldest sociological company in the post-Soviet area. It was established in 1987 under the decree issued by VCSPS in USSR State Committee of Labor's All-Union Public Opinion Research Center. VTsIOM conducts full-cycle marketing, social and political research, from instrument design and data collection to analysis and presentation of findings to the clients. VTsIOM branch offices operate in all 7 of Russia's federal districts. Besides owned branches, the center has partnership agreements with significant number of local research firms. VTsIOM has its own interviewers network, which consists of about 5,000 people. Science and teaching. VTsIOM holds the status of scientific institution. Besides that, there is a scientific expert council functioning in the center, which consists of renowned Russian sociologists, political scientists, marketologists, philosophers, and historians. VTsIOM holds competitions of scientific works among young researchers. Since 2003 it has published its own journal, called Monitoring of Public Opinion, Economic and Social Changes, which is issued 6 times a year. Since 2009 it has been available via open internet access. The editorial board includes leading Russian sociologists. There is VTsIOM department chair in the Higher School of Economics that has been operating since 2008, and VTsIOM Research Center in the Russian State Social University operating since 2008. The center regularly designs and publishes monographs and edited volumes of sociological research devoted to the state of the public opinion in Russia. A recent monographs are from Yeltsin to Putin, 3 Epochs in the Historical Consciousness of Russians, Political Russia, Pre-Elections Guide 2007, Political Dictionary of the Present, Russia on the Crossroads of the 2D Term. For more details see VCIOM Library. Some of the recent books. Public opinion research dating prior to 1992 are stored in an archive. The results of the public opinion polls expressed since 1992 have been stored in archivist database. VTsIOM is the member of international professional networks including Intersearch and the Eurasian Monitor. It is guided by the European Society for Opinion and Market Research (ESOMAR) standards and norms. There are more than 70 specialists employed in the company headquarters in Moscow, as well as dozens in its offices around the country. The head of the center is Valery Fedorov. VTsIOM staff regularly present at Russian and international scientific and practitioners' conferences and roundtables. History. Foundation. The decree to launch VTsIOM was adopted at their July meeting of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union in 1987. The founders were VCSPS and USSR State Committee of Labor. The first director was Tatyana Zaslavskaya. Zaslavskaya tells that the Institute of Demoscopy headed by Elizabeth Noel Newman was taken as a model when establishing the center. Grushin made lots of efforts in 1987–1988 to set up a network of sociological centers in the republics of the USSR and regions of Russia. That made possible to conduct the first mass surveys on a representative samples among adults in November 1988. A year later these surveys became Systematical. In 1988, Yuri Levada together with his students went to work in VTSIOM. In an interview, Yuri Levada talks about the first years of VTSIOM, refers to Tatyana Zaslavskaya and Boris Groshin as the founders of VTSIOM in 1987, and states that he was invited by them to join VTSIOM. VTSIOM became widely respected for its objectivity and professionalism among academics and journalists in both the Soviet Union and the West. In the 1990s, the agency polls gained a reputation for being very reliable. During this period, VTSIOM had conducted over 1,000 polls. Being the first sociological institution in the USSR, VTSIOM served as the cradle for numerous marketing and sociological centers of the country. In August 1989, Boris Groshin left VTSIOM to establish his own organization studying the public opinion Vox Populi Glasnost. In 1992, the Public Opinion Foundation that was originally established as a division of the Center for Raising Charity Funds, separated from VTSIOM. In 1999, VTSIOM achieved Scientific Institute status. Conflict. Although VTSIOM received no budget money and funded itself with private and public sector polling contracts from the breakdown of Soviet Union in 1992 to 2003, Levada had not addressed the fact that the polling agency remained a state-owned company as AFGUP. In 2003, the Ministry of Property of the Russian Federation decided to transform FGUP VTSIOM to JSC, Russian Public Opinion Research Center, 100% share of which was to be held by the state. There still would have been no budget allocated for it from the state, and the company was to continue its work based on financing from both private and public institutions. However, this change was taken by Yuri Levada as an attempt to affect the outcomes of VTSIOM studies. As a result, the previous VTSIOM employees left the company and followed Yuri Levada to the new established non-governmental Levada Center. A young political scientist, Valery Fedorov, who, as some sources note, was close to the administration of the President of the Russian Federation, headed the office. VTSIOM carried on research programs introduced by its previous staff and continued to publish the Monitoring of Public Opinion journal. In 2003, former editorial board members began publishing a new journal called the Public Opinion Herald. There is conflicting data about response from other Russian sociologists to the breakup of VTSIOM. Some sources reported that every sociologist left with Levada, while others claims they were silent, except for Groshin. The dispute over the legality of using the VTSIOM brand in sociological community ended up in 2004. The Federal Anti-Monopoly Service decided to give VTSIOM the full right of use of the brand VTSIOM and prohibited Levada Center to use it. When asked about VTSIOM management change during his visit to Columbia University in the United States in September 2003, Russian President Vladimir Putin was supportive of the change in management. Present role as the state's main sociological research center. The research priorities today are political ratings, social mood indices, governmental programs, and reforms. VTSIOM still conducts research for the most significant Russian private and public institutions. New, applied and pragmatic focus of research programs is expressed in a change in its slogan, Information for Success. instead of the former, from opinion towards understanding. Criticism. The center is sometimes criticized by its subjects of study. Gennady Zyuganov criticized VTsIOM's objectivity when evaluating media request results of VTsIOM study on the Lenin's mausoleum, stating, "I think this is an unprofessional study." According to VTsIOM, Russians supported the burying Lenin in a cemetery instead of keeping him in the mausoleum. VTsIOM has also been accused of having a special relationship with the Kremlin. The New Times magazine published the series of reports corruption in Russia about manipulations that VTsIOM uses in favor of the presidential administration. VTsIOM launched a lawsuit against the New Times and won. After 10-month-long trial, the court acknowledged the published material doesn't correspond to the reality. The court made the magazine publish the refutation and the reporter who wrote the articles pay fine. Research. VTsIOM conducts research both on regional and federal level, as well as in the post-Soviet space and other countries. Topics of interest include politics, elections, politician approval ratings, protest potential, social sphere, education, healthcare, family, housing, corruption, business, finance and insurance, product and corporate brand development, corporate reputation, trademarks, IT and media, auto sector, real estate, sports industry. Methods. The wide range of research techniques, such as personal interviews, focus groups, mystery shopping, hall tests, exit polls, expert surveys, telephone interviews and others, is used. The methods include both descriptive and inferential statistical analysis, and sample-building programs. Surveys based on a representative sampling are conducted every week on 1,600 people from 140 places throughout the 42 regions of Russia. Selected VTsIOM projects. VTsIOM regularly coordinates and implements international research projects for foreign and Russian customers such as UNDP, U.S. State Department, NATO Bureau in Moscow and others. Since 2004, the center has taken an active participation in designing the system of regular sociological research in post-Soviet area. 2007-2008. Evaluation of the company employer image. 2007. Evaluation of the company employer image. 2008. Evaluation of the company employer image. 2007. Study on the brand General Fame. 2007. Social adaptation of HIV-infected, estimating the situation in healthcare, education and employment. 2007. Study of national relationship upon the results of nationwide surveys. 2007. Study of entrepreneurial environment conditions, evaluation of business and power interaction. 2007-2008. Study of the level of trust of Russians towards mass media. 2007. Attitude of Russians towards justice. 2007. Sociological research on unfair competition. 2007. Factors and perspectives of the development of football in Russia. 2006. Evaluation of housing attractiveness of investment project. Russia.It. 2006-2007. Study of the perception of NATO by Russians. 2006. Analysis and evaluation of the perception of corruption in the public sector by population. 2006. Investment behavior of the population and awareness about the deposit insurance system. 2005-2006. Study on the perception of large pharmaceutical brands in Russia and Eastern European countries. Annually since 2000. 2005. Small enterprises functioning conditions in the regions of Russia, 2004 to 2006. Evaluation of the reputational indicators, annually beginning since 2005. Syndicated research of corporate reputation of 10 biggest companies of Russia, twice a year since 2004. Monitoring of the main indicators of social mood in post-Soviet area countries. Participants. Leading sociological services in 14 post-Soviet countries, twice a year since 2003, in the framework of Eurasian Monitor.